Hi, I'm Kamali, taking you through the stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on NewsFeed today.
Like a porn star says when she's about to have sex with a Trump, let's get this over with.
Say what? That was a line during Michelle Wolf at White House Correspondents Dinner. Gags, we tell you the reaction and talk about the uniquely American comedy roast. Huge crowds show love for Imran Khan in Lahore. We'll tell you what you need to know about the cricketer turned politician who now wants to run Pakistan. The mysterious case of Macron's missing tree. Was it stolen, quarantined, or something else? The internet's on the case. And we'll tell you about the 4-year-old from Alabama who could teach all of us a thing or two. All right, top of the newsfeed. There's a thing that's kind of unique to America, the comedy roast. It's usually at an event to honour someone or something, and over the weekend, it was to honour journalists who cover the White House. It was the White House Correspondents Association Dinner, and it serves as a testament to the First Amendment of the US Constitution. That's the right to freedom of speech. And that's how they're able to get away with such cutting lines like the one we showed you earlier. And it's usually this kind of tightrope between comedic and cringe.
And just a reminder to everyone, I'm here to make jokes. I have no agenda. I'm not trying to get anything accomplished. So everyone that's here from Congress, you should feel right at home. Trump's also an idea guy. He's got loads of ideas. You gotta love him for that. He wants to give teachers guns, and I support that, because then they can sell them for things they need, like supplies.
She's referencing Trump there, but he wasn't there. It's the second year he hasn't gone, but he obviously watched it because he's tweeted a review. He said the White House Correspondents' Dinner was a failure last year, but this year was an embarrassment to everyone associated with it. The filthy comedian totally bombed, put the dinner to rest, or start over. Well, a comedian, Amir Rahman from Australia, watched some of it. He had a show called Fear of a Brown Planet on ABC in Australia. And if you Google, is it really okay to punch a Nazis, you'll see some of his best stand-up. And he joins us now. Amir, good to speak with you. First off, just give us a bit of a sense of what are these comedy roasts?
I think generally, like you said, it's sort of a tribute. It's kind of an in-joke between the press and the current administration. But I guess, you know, in times like this, when there's a right-wing administration that's really on the wrong side of the press, the balance has totally shifted, and now there's real pressure on comedians to make much harder hitting points, I guess, like Hassan Minhaj did this year and last year, and Michelle Wolf did this year.
What was your best bit from Michelle Wolf? I think you've picked out one or two zingers.
My favorite bit of her piece was asking what she should be calling Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I think we can have a listen to it, actually.
Yeah.
Let's have a listen to the bit.
Sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know, is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter.
Sitting on the dais right near her. I mean, that's a joke that's good on so many levels. Why did you particularly like it?
One, because you can watch Sarah Huckabee Sanders just squirming as it builds towards the punchline, and also because it's very clever. It's aware of the fact that not everyone is equally affected by the Trump administration. So it's a joke about how she is a white woman, but she's able to be disappointed in other white women that let her down. So I think it was one of the best jokes.
Michelle Wolf got into a bit of trouble with feminists, saying that she was kind of shaming Sarah Huckabee Sanders with this line that we're about to play you about smoky eye. Let's have a listen.
I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies.
I mean, you can hear the cringe in the room. I love these roasts. Now, Trump wasn't there. He said he wasn't going to go. He didn't go last year either. What do you make of the fact that there are these kind of occasions where it's just a chance to tear into people in power?
I mean, like I said, I think the dynamic totally changes. If you look at the roasts during the Obama administration, you know, he's almost part of it. Whereas now, Trump is actively boycotting these things while claiming that free speech is under attack. And I think Hassan Minhaj particularly set the bar so high in terms of the opportunity for comedians to make real points that the media is having trouble making.
Absolutely. I mean, we haven't got any Hassan clips, but we have got one from Seth Meyers when he put down Trump. I think probably one of the last times he attended one of these things. Let's take a listen to this. We'll have a chat about it afterwards.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke. Donald Trump often appears on Fox, which is ironic, because a fox often appears on Donald Trump's head.
I mean, it's hard to be taken the mick out of by people, especially in front of such a big space, in front of so many people. I guess that's why he didn't go. But do you think, with some of the pause, laughter, that people in the room take themselves too seriously?
I think they take themselves seriously, but would like to be seen as being able to take a joke. But I think at the moment, with the media really being rendered impotent by the administration because they can't land anything on him, I think it hurts to kind of have to watch a comedian be more effective in their critique of the administration than they've been able to be.
All right, Amir, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's have a look at what else is trending on social media. Now, it's been a big opening weekend for a big Marvel movie. It's called Avengers: Infinity War, and it had the biggest opening weekend of all time, in fact. It's got every Marvel-made superhero you can fit into a movie that's 2.5 hours long. It made $630 million worldwide, but hasn't yet opened in China, but it's expected to do very well indeed. Famous types have spent the weekend posting old pictures of themselves because the internet. Here's one of the actor Reese Witherspoon. This was taken when she was 12. Next up, it's Kumail Nanjiani. He says, "It was a high-risk shoot. I almost set my unibrow on fire." And who do you think this guy is? It took me a while to work out, but it's the actor Ben Stiller. And Twitter tells me today is the birthday of Gautama Buddha. It's the beginning of a Buddhist festival celebrated across the globe. So I wish all my Buddhist sisters and brothers namaste. All right, let's take you to Pakistan now and show you these pictures now. Cricket legend, playboy, and now Prime Ministerial hopeful Imran Khan speaking to his supporters in Lahore. He laid out a 11-point plan for the country, and here's some of the Twitter reaction. Arif Alvi is a member of Pakistan's National Assembly, and he said the speech was the best by Khan that he's heard in 22 years. He said it came from a heart that bleeds for his love for the country. But the journalist Zahid Hussain said the speech was just too long and could have been condensed into 30 minutes. It was more rhetoric than substance, but he did acknowledge the turnout was a big show of strength. Now, if for some reason you know nothing of cricket and Pakistani politics, then shame on you, and watch this.
We had the Bhutto family, we had the Wali Khan family, we had the Sharif family. Actually, it's like a form of monarchy.
Now, it's a mystery that's had some parts of the internet talking all weekend. Where's that tree gone that Presidents Macron and Trump planted in the White House during their bromancery last week? quite something. Let's take you around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Monday. Malaysia recently passed a law making it illegal to spread what authorities deem to be fake news. And the law has ensnared its first offender. This guy, he posted to social media that police officers took 50 minutes to respond to reports of a murder. Police said they responded in 8, and so the man, Salat Suleiman, was charged with spreading false news. He was fined 10,000 ringgits, but couldn't afford it, so will spend a month in jail. The Twitter account of the former NATO Secretary General Anders Fogh Rasmussen was hacked over the weekend by a Turkish hacking group. He's now tweeted that he's back in control and is trying to work out just what happened. After last week's historic meeting, not only is peace seemingly on its way to the Korean Peninsula, the North and the South are going to align their time zones. The North is currently 30 minutes behind the South, but not for much longer. Now, there are millions of people living on the streets, and while that's messed up in a world which has never been richer, it's even sadder that politicians and the powers that be don't seem capable to make the situation any better. So a 4-year-old from Alabama is showing them the way, and his name on Facebook is President Perrine. Watch this.
And I said, well, I guess it's going to be homeless for a while. And he says, are people homeless? And he asked me to take him to see a homeless person.
News to start your week. That's all from the NewsFeed team. Do reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. I'm at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.